Hi, I'm Mosh, creator of Mosh Planner. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Mosh Planner. Now, before you dive right into the planner, I recommend you to write how to return the planner back to you in case you ever lose it. You can make it funny by offering some crazy reward like $1 million or something. Who knows? I'm going to skip the first pages, which are My Info, Introduction, and the pages inside, because we want to focus on the more important pages right now and start, taking action. If you already purchased Mosh Planner, please go ahead and turn to the contents page. Aside from the first 8 lines, these pages were created so you can easily find trips, stories, and photos that you took, on your documented journeys. You will only fill those out once you actually plan trips and wrote in your Mosh Planner. Boring important details. Consider boring important details as your gear's guardian angel. If you ever forget your gear somewhere or it gets stolen, this page is exactly where you should go to. Fill in a list of your gear, write what it is, what's the serial number, and how much it's worth. Next thing you know, you have a list of 30 BID numbers starting from BID number 1. You'll be able to use those BID numbers while planning your trips in the trip planner and so on. Kids. How many times did you forget that one stupid thing? I know I have so many times. The kids page contains items you might need in your photography trips. You write those items in the checklist page when you start planning your trips. Hopefully, it helps you remember items you completely forgot you even wanted to take. Photo ideas and concepts. If you're anything like me, you've had countless ideas and concepts that you wanted to plan and capture. These 2 pages are like a big to-do list that I hope you'll get to complete one day. It's where you'll write down all your ideas. But, take your time. You can come back to it whenever you want to. You might know how easy it is to have lots of ideas, but executing them, that's a whole different story. Destination wishlist. I believe this part is pretty self-explanatory. You have places you wish to one day visit, right? List them down in these 2 pages, and if you ever get to visit them, come back and write when you visited. And don't forget to check them off. This list can actually help you plan for specific trips in the next pages and help make your wish list come true. Yearly overview. Most planners have dated and undated calendars, but they are bound to months and years. The Mosh calendar is different because it is trip-oriented, meaning you'll only fill in the trips you'll be planning throughout the year. Below the calendar, you can write what you're looking forward to in general. What are the main adventures that you're going to have, when you'll go on them, and maybe some memorable moments from past trips. Trip planner. Now, let's look at how you can plan your next photography adventures using the trip planner. At the top, write your desired destination and the dates for the duration of the trip. Write how far it is from where you live. Check how the sun and moon behave where you'll be traveling to. Color in the specific phase the moon is going to be in, and write down all the locations you want to take photos at or of. For example, if you're going to Zion National Park, maybe you want to shoot at Angel's Landing or the Narrows, or maybe at the Watchman Trail. Next, you write what the weather is going to be like. It's always good to be prepared for the weather. Good for your health, good for your gear and the photos you're going to capture. In the transportation section, write how you'll be moving around. Is it by bus, bikes, walk, maybe by car, and so on. You can also write how much transportation might cost you. Now, where are you going to stay? Write the name of your hotel or lodge or inn, maybe even a camping site. If you'll be staying at multiple places, list them all in here. You can also add how much they all cost: currency, activity budget, and food budget. If you haven't budgeted your trip yet, doing it in here might be the perfect time. As a photographer, you want to be able to take photos everywhere you can, but some places might require you to have special permits. Research online and make some phone calls, to find out if you need permits to photograph where you'll be visiting. And then come back and write everything down in the permits needed section. Do you know anyone where you'll be visiting? Write their names and phone numbers, just in case your phone dies on you. Trip checklist. After you're done with the main planning of your trip, it's time to make a checklist of everything you'll be taking with you. This is where you can use the kids page I've mentioned earlier. Also, don't forget to list your BID items in here. Day plan. Woohoo! Your trip is planned and you're going to have so much fun. This is where you can get more specific within the days of your trip. You can do this before and or during your trip. This specific planner is designed for 3-day trips, just because most of us can only travel during weekends. But if you're going on longer trips, you can combine several trips into one adventure. At the top, you can title your day or just write what day it's going to be and fill in the date. Next, list the destinations you really want to visit that day. It will help you accomplish everything you want and not forget any destinations you had in mind. The schedule consists of 19 hours. You do hope to sleep a little, don't you? Write down where you want to be and at what time. For example, the time you should leave the room, when is breakfast served, what destination you'll get to first, and so on. If you have any notes about anything that day, you can write them all in this section. After the day is over, you can come back and reflect on it and write down your accomplishments right over here. Shot planner. This section is meant to help you plan for specific shots you really want to capture. It will help make sure you don't skip any shot. As a landscape photographer, you probably know how distracted you can get seeing so many opportunities and capturing so many photos. You know how it is. First, fill in the day and date, or maybe a potential title you have. Write the time of day the picture needs to be taken at, and where the moon and sun are going to be. Is it going to be a snapshot, long exposure, time-lapse, etc.? Circle the right option for you. Write what genre of photography it is. Then go get more specific with aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and so on. Write how many shots you hope to get and how long you think the shoot will take. At the end, note if you need to reshoot the scene and why. If not, move on. If your shoot includes models, you can put down all the details right here. Things like the model's name, whether or not you're paying them, and how much, what's your agreement if you have one, and so on. If it's a paid job, write the important details in these lines right here. When you're back home and already worked on the images, you can come back to this page and write what's the file's name, where you save them, and what potential titles you have for the images. Enjoy the moment. These pages are very simple yet very powerful. They can improve your photography adventures. These pages can help you be more aware of your environment when you're taking pictures, and help you create much better stories for the images that you capture. After all, stories are very important for when we share the photos. These pages will have to be filled on location. I'm at. Write where you at. The country, the city, the location, maybe even exact spot you're standing on. I see. Explain what you see in front of you. Be open and elaborate as much as you can. I hear? Is the wind whispering? Are the waves crashing? Are there wildlife nearby? Write down anything and everything you can hear around you. I smell. Can you smell the flowers near you? The ocean in front of you? Maybe you smell something burns, someone's perfume, or even some other photographer's sweat. Yeah, it happens. I feel. In general, what are you feeling? Are you excited, disappointed, happy, sad? Maybe you're not feeling anything for some reason. Write it down. The weather is. How is the weather right now? Is it cloudy, rainy, sunny? Is it too hot to be outside? I can't believe. Did something surprise you? Maybe you can't believe you're at the specific location. Maybe something else is going through your mind that you just can't believe happening. I'm learning that. Are you learning to see better? Are you trying a new technique? Are you learning something new about yourself? Maybe you're not learning anything at the moment. That's okay too. I'm thinking about. Are you thinking what pictures to capture next? Maybe you're thinking about someone that you wish was there with you. Maybe you're thinking about what you want to eat when you go back to your hotel or campground. I'm afraid of. These could be things you're actually afraid of, like spiders, bears, snakes, etc. It can also be things related to your photography. Maybe you're afraid the location will not produce the images you hoped for. Maybe you're afraid to miss the sunset because it's your first and only time to be there. I'm excited for. Is there anything you're excited for at the moment? Maybe you're excited to get back home and work on the new images you captured. Maybe you're excited to finally tell your friends about the awesome adventures you went on. If you fill this page up, you'll find that you'll be able to write a really good story about the image or images that you captured. And that leads us to the next and final pages. Photo story and experience. These are the pages to write about your photos. It could be a long story about one single image, or a few stories about a few images. Or maybe a few different stories about one single image. You never know. You just have to start writing. Take all the information from the previous pages, not only from enjoy the moment section. You can go over your shot plan, your day plan, and your entire trip plan. The rest of the pages in Mosh Planner are pretty straightforward. In travel plans, you write down your travels information. In contests, you write what contests you submitted your photos to. In location scouting, you write about locations that you're thinking to photograph in the future. In My Fellow Photographers, you fill in the information of photographers you know and care about. And that's pretty much it. So go out and enjoy every moment.